Happy Friday from the Green Flag Morning Show, which is tonight, a Friday evening show. We have a ton of people jumping on already. We got my favorite little buddy Brantley on.
Say hi, everybody.
Afternoon. Happy Friday.
Hi. It's
He's so
weird. You
cute.
can't say, happy Saturday, happy race day. Like, we're having to do this on a Friday night. But it's okay, because the show's
I know.
so much cuter all of a sudden. Like, what?
I
They're,
know.
they're racing up at Volusia tonight, right?
Well, then it's
kind of
happy
race day.
Friday, happy race day. That works.
Happy Friday, happy race day.
So
He is literally the cutest little ham.
I feel bad. Like, with the whole COVID thing, we don't get to, get down and see anybody. So my poor family, this is how they get to see him. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, I got an idea. I'm going to try to do something.
We decided that since we all kind of have plans for this weekend, since we all
Hi,
have
Nani.
plans for this weekend, we're going to do a Friday night show instead of a Saturday show. So that's where we are. We have a ton of you guys tuning in. Tim Dodson can't wait for the 28th. Me too. Stacy Martin, the baby. Yeah. He's the cutest one on the show, by far.
That's the
So
understanding.
everyone that's watching, make sure to like and share and tell me where you're watching from, of course. Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. We're going to start off by talking about New Smyrna because that was last weekend, and Brandon and Evan and all of us had a blast, but it was a lot. We were
and I
scared.
got some information. When we get to talk about a super race about Jesse Dutilli and why the decision was made that it was for him not to pit on that last stop.
Wait, so there's actually knowledge as to why that happened?
Well, yeah, there was this morning I went down, was honored to be on Mark in the Morning's morning show here in Arcadia and talk about the Bigley race next week. And we had Jesse Dutilli call in, and we talked to him. And the reason they didn't pit on that last stop is he didn't have any left side tires in the pits. He only had two rights left, and they didn't think that rights were going to help them any on what they needed because they had just taken tires, not the stop before that. So not having any lefts in the pits, which they thought they needed to actually help, they decided not to pit and just go with the best they could. But that was why they didn't pit. He didn't have any left side tires.
Ah, that makes more sense because we were confused. That was one of those that everybody came down and we all just kind of looked around like, oh, I don't know if that was the best idea. But if he took him earlier, that would make sense.
Yeah, I was really hoping his lap times really did not fall off that much before that last caution where everyone pitted. So I was really hoping that he could pull off the win. But of course, Bubba showed them all up, won the race. What a great weekend at New Smyrna.
And
Lester's
then sold his car.
Yeah, heck of a job with the camera, Brandon. Thank you, Lester. Evan, our camera guy, did all that. Brandon does all the graphics and all the computer work and throws stuff at us when we need that. And
Yeah, you don't want me to do the camera.
I know from now on I'm staying arm's length away. I like Jake being in between all of us.
Well, if somebody would show up when the show's time to start, then I wouldn't be
That's
throwing
not my
things
fault.
down the alleyway at New Smyrna.
I was videoing for Adam and Rusty for them to do their New Smyrna show. So I was videoing off the phone for them because they couldn't get the laptop to work. So, yeah, I had a reason. Gary Ford says, happy race night, y'all. He is at Volusia for the Emil and Dale Ruderman Memorial Race this weekend. There are so many cars in the pits. We'll give you numbers here in just a bit.
So I think
Michael
53
Martin
open wheel
said,
modifieds.
Yeah. Tim Dodson's watching from Alva, finished in the 51 dwarf car after the wreck last race. And Gary Ford reminds us, Emil and Dale Ruderman. Oh, almost brought someone on camera.
I'll do that.
Thanks for that, Robert. Good to know. Everyone was super curious. First session of qualifying is complete. Fast time so far was a 19.4 at Volusia. Steve Darling's on. Huge thanks to them guys for jumping on board last weekend with On Call.
Steve saved our butt. Like,
Yeah, he did.
can we talk about that? Steve
Yes.
absolutely saved us this week.
Yeah.
Saturday was the absolute day from hell when it came to production. Like, y'all got to see a good product, but let me tell you what, we showed up at I think about 8 in the morning, and we were literally still plugging things in as the race started, because about 30 minutes before the show, our input card decided working was optional. So we went from 5 cameras to 1, and I had to message Steve to ask a favor to have him leave the races as they were starting to go to Best Buy that was 20 minutes away, so we could get a couple more camera angles for y'all. So huge shout out to him. Y'all have no idea how big he saved us this weekend.
And I wondered where that post went. Anybody going to Best Buy on Sunday?
That would be why.
Not just that, but the weather was iffy all day Saturday. Like, we wanted to do the morning show, have the drivers come up on the spotter's roof with us, and it kept drizzling. It was like a really heavy drizzle all day Saturday, and then it finally cleared out around nighttime. So yeah, we didn't get to do half the things we wanted to, but it was still a great opportunity. We broadcasted on NBC Gold, which is insane. Absolutely still blows my mind that we were able to do that. And yeah, I had a blast.
Yeah, that was one of those weekends that it doesn't happen often, and when it does, you got to take advantage. And the way just everything fell together, I mean, we got to give a massive thanks to the Truck Series, right? So that whole thing came together because of Donnie and Krista opening up the door, because we were going to film the Truck Series. And originally, we were only doing the trucks. We were going to, do that race on Saturday and block everything else out. But NBC heard we were going to be there, and Krista and Donnie knocked the door down and gave us the opportunity to do the whole thing and let y'all fans see everything. So, make sure you guys message them. Whoever is behind your camera needs to come say hi. You're not allowed to make people laugh on camera.
Come here. My kid just got home, and he's making faces to me. Well, okay. So let me explain why. He wants to show y'all. Listen, I had to go out and get some last minute things. Our family Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Stop it. Stop. Let me explain before you put it on camera. So I had to run out and get some last minute things. So my mom and I went. We were goofing off, shopping. I got my Christmas pajamas for our Friendsgiving on Sunday. And I get home and there's a package at my door. And one of my favorite people in the whole world, one of our family, racing family, sent me a package of all these Christmas cakes. And it literally made my whole entire world.
I'm so jealous.
I'm so happy. So my kid's sitting here, and gets home from work, and he's looking like, oh, we got an Amazon package, and it's all these Christmas tree cakes, and he's laughing at me in the background as I'm trying to talk to you guys.
This is why Cody is shaped like he is, and I'm shaped like me. He's laughing. I would have taken it upstairs. You'd have never seen another one again.
He would have been gone before the broadcast was over.
I'm telling you, that's your cue, man. She's stuck.
That's funny.
So what about that Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series race last weekend? Derek Pugh put on a dominating performance there at New Smyrna.
I love when the trucks go out there.
Me too.
Derek taking a truck really there is one of those things that, as a racer, especially one that owns one, I'm always terrified to go there because, when it's the super guys and the pro lates, if they wreck a car, it's no big deal. Right, they have others. They have the funding to run that. But when a truck goes there, if you wreck a truck, your season's over. So it's always impressive when you show up with more than 7 trucks, knowing the risk is there that you could lose your season.
Yeah, Derek Pugh did a great job. Nick Hernandez, 1 point. Congrats to them guys. Every one of the truck teams are smaller teams, and they work really hard. And to see them go out and race so clean, I know we had a first lap wreck. That was pretty unavoidable. Other than that, it was such a good, clean race, and them boys really put on a show. And girls. Sorry, Becca. And girls. And same with the sportsmen. How about the sportsmen guys that came all the way up from 417? The lack of sleep, team no sleep, and
Right?
put on a show for us on Sunday.
Yeah, that was an impressive one. I was sitting up watching qualifying with Jake, and when Scooby set pole, I was crying laughing because Jake's sitting there going, "Oh God, if he wins this race, we are never going to hear the end of it." And he goes out. He did an incredible job. I got to give him huge props. I know that he said in his post race interview that that's the easiest thing he's ever drove. He's full of crap. It takes some serious skill to go out there and run a car like that. And he left the field, and that was not a nobody field. I mean, when you've got Jason Vale in the field and you run away from him, like that says something about your talent and what you've got under you in a car. So yeah, I was really impressed with that run.
Yeah, I know he's been working with Boyd Tech, and anything you see come out of Boyd Tech is always quick. A little bit disappointed he outran the Chad Pierce Motorsports cars, but okay, I'll give him this one.
So
Yeah,
Jim, I
Gary
just threw a
Ford's
comment
gonna.
up.
Yeah, Gary
It,
Ford, David Rudiman just turned a 19.2. Buzzy Rudiman at 78 years old turned a 19.8. Yeah.
that's crazy. I don't have the kahunas to run those things at my age, much less 78.
Yeah. It's
And he's
insane.
still winning
That,
races.
Right?
yeah, he is dominating. Yeah. What a cool race for them. Super excited every year for the Rudiman Memorial, and Gary Ford works so hard at it. There's a group of people that really work their butts off on it, and as we all know, anytime you put on a race, it's a lot of work. So good job to them guys. The pits are filled. I can actually, if y'all want to talk for a minute, I can actually pull up the numbers that I heard earlier. And
Isn't it about time to take our first caution?
Sounds about right. Yeah, let's do it.
there's
Let's
over
take
a
a.
hundred. One second. There's over 110 plus cars in the pits tonight.
Jeez.
That's incredible.
Insane. All right, so let's cut to our first caution, and we'll be back.
Give me a few seconds to tell you about something extremely important about insurance. Have you ever thought about any of the following? Maybe paying off a mortgage, proper retirement that is non-taxable. What about final expense questions? Well, the Alliance with Candace Keeley has all the answers for all those mentioned. Call someone you can trust. Retirement-safe investments are extremely important to lock in now, especially with this important election we are facing. There is no better time, as crucial as now, to get the most out of these insurance benefits. The Alliance with Candace Keeley. Call 386-523-6335 for a free review.
And we're back on the Green Flag Evening show. It's so
And I
hard
just want
to get that out.
There's just want to thank everybody for jumping on. We've been reading a lot of the Facebook comments. I just jumped on over to YouTube, see what's on over there. There's also people watching over there. Nobody's making any comments or anything yet on there, but glad to see that we have people watching on both platforms tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
idea that we can go to YouTube is exciting. Like, and I don't know how many people really understand how it works, but when we go to Facebook, the quality gets crushed. Um, they don't let us film at the full quality that we actually film at, which is why the race replays look so much better than the actual broadcast. That's not the case with YouTube. YouTube lets us go at full throttle, so over there it looks no different than if you were sitting watching your TV screen. So yeah, it's exciting to be able to do that.
And real quick before we close out what we were talking about with New Smyrna, The replay is on Speedway Videos and also on NBC Sports Gold, so you can always go back and rewatch your races or rewatch our broadcast because that's exciting. Huge thanks to Tom at Speedway Videos and all the people at New Smyrna because they were absolutely amazing all weekend to work with. And Butch went up and down the stairs 800 times helping us out, so we really appreciate everyone. Thanks for Jake and Austin and Braden for staying late and helping us coil up all the wires and getting everything loaded up and doing all the hard work after the show was over.
Yeah, eventually
I bet the hardest thing
to do that totally. Like we're gonna have a crew.
Well, the hardest thing probably was after that weekend and as long and tired as was to bring everything off the roof all the way down.
Good God, New Smyrna has an elevator. It's the world's slowest elevator. Like, don't get me wrong. It takes a solid minute and a half to go like 2 floors up. But my fat self didn't have to walk it, so I don't care. We got to pull the truck right next to the elevator, move it 5 feet, and take the ride. So, yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Okay. I didn't realize they had an elevator.
We didn't either until I walked by it, and I was like, hey.
I mean, you still have to come down the spotter ladder with all the equipment, and then you put it in the elevator instead of walking it all the way down the grandstand bleacher. So thank goodness.
That's a lot better than the grandstand bleachers.
Yeah. Just a heads up for all of you guys just now tuning in. We decided to just goof off on here tonight, talk to all of you guys because we missed that so much last weekend. We didn't really get a chance to do that during the broadcast. Devin McLeod's tuned in, sitting in the shop drinking a beer, tuned in. John Ryan said, love the coverage at New Smyrna. Gary Ford says, Tyler nicely just turned to 18.9. And Victor Johnson says, you guys are rocking the airways. So huge thanks to all of you guys for tuning in. We definitely missed you last weekend. Can't wait for the next broadcast. We are off this weekend, or I'm off this weekend. So you won't hear my mouth Saturday or Sunday.
So you were taking some notes there, Jen. We got like 10 minutes left in our 30-minute show. What do we got next weekend? What do we want to start Friday with practice? What all we got going on?
We got practice Friday night, and then at Ryan's Pubs Sports Bar, 5268 Duncan Road, we will be partying it off after practice, having a little broadcast, talking to all the drivers, goofing off, having a great time. They have amazing food. They have a ton of different options. So make sure you make plans after practice to come and hang out with us. We'll make Brandon and Evan set everything up where we can do a broadcast.
That's okay. I'm coming down Wednesday to make it easier. So if we got to set up all around the place,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's a great group of people that will be at the Bigley race. We have items to hand out to the kids during, the autograph session and all that from Sunshine State Racing and Black Sails Racing. So we're really looking forward to it. Can't wait to be around everyone, and just that's the whole point of this Bigley weekend is to do what they love to do, which is hang out with everyone.
I gotta say though, how about the car count? Like as much as we're excited to go hang out and be with everybody, can we not ignore the fact that there's 37 cars pre-registered for this race? Like you talk about the Governor's Cup and how prestigious it is, and there was only 15. Granted, they were some of the best 15 in the South, so it was really good racing. But you got 37 cars registered for this event on a track that does not fit 37, which means practice is going to be crucial. Qualifying is going to be nuts, and I cannot wait for an LCQ. They are going to be 4 wide into 1. It's going to be carnage. I'm going to have so many replays. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And I think they'll take six from that last chance race. And I want to say, is it 10 or 25 laps?
20 locked in, 6 out of the last chance race, and 2 provisionals. So there's still a couple more drivers that say they're thinking about coming. So that number very well could go up between now and Friday.
I mean, we talked to a bunch of people about it this weekend. Like, it's so much more than the 10,000 to win, right? Because there's a select few guys who are going to be able to do that. I mean, with supers, it's a little different. Maybe half the field has the ability to win, but the other half doesn't. Let's be honest. They're just not going to go out and do it. But to pay 800 through the field and it starts at like 10th, that was more than Governor's Cup paid at like 4th. So the idea that it pays through the field, I think, is the reason that you've got 37 cars coming, because it pays everybody, not just the guy that wins the race. So it's worth it.
I agree. And I meant $800 is a set of tires and 10 gallons of fuel. So most time you go to start a race, you're not even covering your expenses. At least this time, you have the basics covered. So I think that's a part of the reason getting a big number.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Keep in mind, we still need lap sponsors. We had a huge push this week for lap sponsors. We got a ton sponsored. We still have a ton left to go. Dad just said I still challenge all the drivers to buy a lap and support this race. $10, $20, buy a lap.
And if your lap's taken, we have multiple laps where there's multiple sponsors or positions on it. The way it's set up, where you can pick the position you want, just because you see somebody's already on your lap, if you really want that one, throw your name out there anyway. This is all going straight back to the drivers, and we're just trying to make this race better than possible.
And
Robert
not
just
only
said,
that,
you
but
see anyone?
talk about the fact that there's the advertising available on Sunshine too. So on top of all the race, right? We've got all of the stuff that we're going to do for the race as well. Stuff like victory interviews, restarts, overtime, checkered flags, all the commercials that we're running. Those are all still available, and this is going to be a really big show. So if you guys are looking for advertising for your companies, or if you just want to have some fun and have like the Tyler Sontag retard, in case you're wondering who I really want to get the restarts, that's always possible too. So it's out there for you. Just reach out.
Yep. So
he's dressing up for Joe Rental.
We have lap sponsors. We have commercials and ads. We have the after party on Friday. You can sponsor the broadcast there. We had Chris Fazzillo, Fozzie's Photos. Today, jump on board. He's doing a $100 photo package to, I think, 10th place driver, 10th place finisher. Thank you, Gary Ford. We love you. Robert and Billy Bigley put out a challenge this week. If you sponsor $1,000, they will jump in the pool.
You basically have till Tuesday to do that. After Tuesday, I won't be near the pool the rest of the week.
Anthony Tidwell's online on Facebook, watching you guys on YouTube right now. There's a lot of racing going on this weekend. Make sure you make your way out to Volusia, Hendry, or 417. I think they're the only three racing.
Showtime has the Mod Mini State Championship also.
Devin McLeod said, and Robert can't swim.
He'll float, don't worry.
He said, we'll set up a pool at the track. There's a pool at the hotel. We can make them jump in at the hotel.
I like the idea of a pool at the track.
So,
I know I'm just not jumping. I'm not jumping in that lake at the track. I can tell you that.
So make sure you guys get with us in regards to sponsorship. That's huge. We need to finish out these lap sponsors, collect all the money by Friday, Saturday. 4 foot is a deep end for Shorty.
And
Real quick.
Go ahead, Jen.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, if you're coming on the fan side, we want to pack the stands with fans here at 417, and we're not leaving you guys out of getting a chance to win stuff. We're going to go get some Frisbees, and the drivers are all going to sign Frisbees or beach balls, whatever I can find at least 30 of. And then they're all going to sign it and throw them over the fence during the driver introductions. And if you win, if you catch the Frisbee or the beach ball, whatever it is, of the winning driver or the driver that finished last, you each are going to get a prize.
Yeah. We're going to have checker flags. We're going to have some bracelets. Mario Campy from Anthony Campy Racing also is sending us some hats to give out to the fans. So huge thanks to everyone. If you have hero cards, make sure to bring them. If you have shirts or anything you want to donate, gift certificates, anything, any type of contingency, get with us. Let's make it huge. Next year's going to be even better. No COVID.
We keep saying it, and then I keep hearing like the day they're canceling. There's no way no live concerts this year at the Strawberry Festival, and that's coming up for already February and March. So I meant
I wouldn't be
it's
too
rolling
confident
over
about
already.
that statement there, Jen.
What are you drinking, Brandon?
Not kid-friendly stuff.
Oh. What's on your shirt?
On my shirt, see, I went sponsor today, right? You know, we always do the shirt thing, but I decided to rep a sponsor. I had a really good conversation with these guys the other day. Jen's about to get super excited when I tell her that they donated 8 gallons of tea for this weekend. I'm pretty sure
That
Jen's
makes
going
me
to drink
happy.
7 of them.
Absolutely.
See, mate, I read an idea. I know how I'm going to hide you in the booth. Is I'm going to hide all the tea in the booth, and that's how you're going to have to drink it. So during the race, you'll have to be sitting next to me.
Nope. You'll have Austin in the booth for Saturday.
She's going to show up with like a 40-foot straw. You watch. She can wrap it around the window.
A cycling
Don't put it
hose.
past.
Wrong side, Jen.
Wrong side.
There it is. See, you got to move the mic.
92 Joe Winchell shirt.
And
I got a
feel
potential
bad.
sponsor.
Joe
I got
rocked.
Old Smoky Moonshine shirt.
There you go. That counts.
That's one thing we don't need for next weekend. That'll be a little bit crazy. I'll stick to
Speak
sweet
for
tea and
yourself.
video it all. I plan on videoing it all. All right, so just to hit the highlights, thank you all for tuning in tonight because we just wanted to goof off with our fans, and tonight was a good night to do it. Tomorrow, Rudima Memorial of Volusia. You got racing at Showtime. You got racing at Hendry. You got racing at 417. Sprints are at 417 and Hendry. So
I'll say, let's hope this is the weekend. Hope that this is the weekend that the sprint cars can beat the rain and getting it in at Hendry. I think the last 4 or 5 times they've been unlucky.
What else? Oh, TCB Speed South will be at Hendry, so make sure. I wonder if LJ can get his second win. That's another thing we didn't talk about. Real quick. LJ Grimm got his first sprint car win. How cool is that?
He looked like a kid at a candy store.
I'm
like
so
LJ's
excited.
normally so stoic. Like he has like zero emotion, and he looked like he was just giddy.
And from the first 2 people, from what I hear, that was at his car was Shane Butler, who had just flipped 20 laps before that, and then Troy DeCare, who was out of the race too, one of his toughest competitors. Those 2 guys to be the first ones there to tell you that congratulations, what that must have felt like.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great to see Shane walking around the pits on Sunday. You know, anytime our race family gets in a crash, you always want to see them and like you hear, yeah, they're okay, they're walking around. But you just feel better when you see them. So it was great to see him. Wish we could have saw Joe. I'm in the middle of a broadcast. I'm trying to announce on NBC on Saturday night by myself. And people
I
are
had to take
sending
her
me
phone.
videos. Yeah, people are sending me videos and pictures of everyone we know crashing all over the place. And yeah, that was pretty scary. So
Y'all gotta
thankfully,
stop that.
everyone walked away and there wasn't anything bad going on. Everyone was
Joe may have
healthy
limped
after-
away, but he's okay.
Joe's fine.
Thank goodness.
We still
Thank
have more,
goodness.
so, important things.
We had a question on here. Maybe you all covered this, but why do you think the car count was down for the Governor's Cup? Honestly, I think the weather. We had a hurricane the week of Governor's Cup. So honestly, I think the weather scared a lot of cars off. I know people say they don't like taking their car to the bigger tracks right before Derby. I know we have a $10,000 to win race coming up, next weekend. A lot of factors could play a part in it, but honestly, I think the hurricane that came the week before scared a lot of people off. It scared us. We had trash bags. We had Butch put up tarps all around us so we could, try to keep the rain off the equipment and all that when the rain came in. And hopefully next year we'll...
And nothing against them. New Smyrna makes that a really great weekend, but I mean the start money comes into play on a race like that. Unfortunately, it's 200 laps. They all have pit stops. You have to refuel during the race. You're looking at probably 2 sets of tires or a set and a half to put any on during the race, and just the cost of that when people know they're not going to be one of the top 5 or 6 cars, and they're going to be mid-pack, it probably keeps some of them away as well.
I gotta second that. Yeah, as a mid-pack guy, there's sometimes where that you're just not going to run with Bubba Pollard.
15 grand to win is good, but only one person's getting it.
Right.
But then again, drivers, if you want bigger money, help us out with sponsors. You know what I mean? Let's start advertising this race. Let's start pulling more sponsors so we can do the pay throughout the field like we did with Bigley, where it's $800 to start. Okay, Big G is out. Time to get ready for heat races. Watch us on Dirt Vision. There you go, Gary Ford. Good luck to all of you guys at the Ruderman Memorial this weekend.
So yeah, you want another payouts. 30 minutes is coming on.
Just like
want
that.
Big payouts, find big sponsors. I'm gonna miss you guys this weekend.
I'm gonna be busy. That's why we're here.
Me too.
I'll be at 417 trying to watch LJ go for a second win.
Nice.
I hope he gets it.
Up. Me too.
I just want to know.
But you got
I want
Troy to care.
Did he climb up on the wing like the other guys did?
No.
I knew the answer. No. But I'm like, I'd like to see him try.
I love LJ, but no. LJ's shaped like me. That's a bad idea. It's a good way to lose a wing.
Oh, how about Bub finishing third and Blaine Bear coming home? How about that belt last weekend? I keep getting sidetracked.
That's not hard.
That was the coolest trophy. Squirrel.
Yeah.
That was the coolest trophy, though.
We're going to make this stick. Jen's new nickname is Squirrel. Everybody needs to start calling her Squirrel. She is just like the dog. I think is it Up? It's just Squirrel.
Thanks, Brandon.
I love you, but it's true. It's absolutely true.
Racing gets me so excited. So I've got lots of things that we can talk about, but we're going to let everyone go because we've already taken up enough of their time. We just wanted to let them know that we weren't going to be there tomorrow.
We'll see everybody next weekend at the Bigley Memorial.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Stay tuned this week for more information and have a great weekend.
See y'all.
Bye.